A new development tonight in our continuing coverage of the water curtailment in eastern Idaho. The director of the Idaho Department of Water Resources has put a pause on the curtailment well inspections. This as farmers in eastern Idaho water districts worry about getting a return on their investment in their crops. The Idaho Falls Chamber of Commerce and the Bonneville County Commissioners are calling on Idaho Governor Brad Little to intervene because of the possible curtailment impact on the economy. Local News 8's Ashley Chilcutt spoke with Lieutenant Governor Scott Bedke. He says negotiations are underway to find an agreeable solution, and intervention is unnecessary.
Well, we know the conditions right now, and people are working night and day literally to fix this.
Water is the lifeline of this area. Without water, this entire valley would go back to sagebrush and dry up. There are a lot of water-saving factors that can be enacted in the Twin Falls Canal Company that they're not currently doing because the Department of Water Resources has somewhat made it easy for them to just do a water call rather than looking for savings in their own water system.
Our local banks here are really concerned. You think about a lot of farmers have borrowed money from those banks to help, plant their crops. And they're leveraging the valuation of those crops being harvested to get that return and then pay their loans back. If they don't have a crop to harvest, then the bank don't get their money back, and the trickle effect of that is that we're now in a real financial crisis.
I think that it really shows the injustice of that call coming at this time of the season. We have large agricultural business such as Anheuser-Busch and Idahoan, fertilizer dealers, equipment dealers. The economic impact to them would be unrecoverable.
Even if Idahoans' pumps were allowed to stay on, we still would be severely impacted because it's our growers who supply our number one ingredient, raw potatoes, to us. If they're impacted, we are impacted.
Banks and those that are dependent on these crops and all of the processors and all the ancillary industries, my message to them is it's going to be okay, I predict. Now, beware the man that guarantees, because I can't guarantee anything. But this is not my first rodeo, and I can tell you that I believe this story will have a happy ending for all included.
So I'm really concerned that the governor has been a little bit passive perhaps in this situation, and we're asking that he come and take a more active and proactive role in helping sort this situation out here.
I don't know that we want our governors jumping in the middle of situations where the Constitution is clear, where the code is clear. Farmers can work this out with farmers. It's unfortunate if farmers have to take other farmers to court or to the legislature or to some other place to have these local issues or issues that only farmers really know about and solve them. The solutions will be way better coming from the users than it will be if they're imposed upon the users from outside sources.
There is water that can be used for recharge right now. And it is not going to be a short water year for anybody. Yes, the trends have been continuing to go down in the aquifer, but there are solutions that can be found, especially on a year like this when there is a surplus of water.
I think that we will step up collectively and we'll have an agreement. We have scared the nation because they think their potatoes are at risk here. That could not be further from the truth. And we've got to get back to doing what we do best, and that is growing good crops to feed the nation.
Lieutenant Governor Bedke remains hopeful that an agreement will be reached. He says no water is being curtailed at this time. Of course, we will continue to follow this story as it develops. It is a moving story. You can watch all of our water curtailment coverage on our website at localnews8.com. We also wanted to get the perspective of the farmer in Bingham County as well. Local News 8's Cole Sams visited the fields near Blackfoot today.
The water curtailment in Idaho has become a major hot topic for many of our local farmers, but for Brian Murdoch, it's become more than just controversial. For generations, Brian Murdoch and his ancestors have been farmers in Bingham County. growing the potatoes that we eat every day.
This is our 135th year of farming here. We are one of the oldest potato growing families of Idaho. There's a lot of responsibility.
His way of living has taken a recent turn, with the state ordering a water curtailment of 500,000 acres, or what Murdoch says is 781 square miles of farmland. The state believes they need to replenish the eastern Snake River Plain aquifer.
We could fix this problem after the growing season is over. As I like to say, the aquifer wasn't made in 1 year. We can't break it in 1 year, but the state and the Idaho Department of Water Resources will certainly break East Idaho in 1 year. Or in fact, they'll break us in 3 weeks.
Murdoch believes the farmers in southern Idaho are benefiting from the curtailment, but says there isn't a problem with their current water supply.
This curtailment is not necessary, especially right now. There is no farmer in southern Idaho off of the Twin Falls Canal that is going to experience a water shortage this year. It's impossible.
Murdoch says his farm grows 23 million large orders of McDonald's French fries and 16 million loaves of bread. He says he is facing a $3 million loss if the curtailment stays in effect.
As you see behind us, there's potatoes that are in need of water at this particular moment. We are at a very critical stage in the potato production because these plants, we will stunt the growth. This is when we will damage ourselves for sure because of lack of water.
Murdoch says his farm makes up less than 1% of the land that makes up the curtailment, but believes his land and the other 99% should be a priority for the state's protection going forward.
This is the state's water. We do not disagree with that. We have only been granted a right to get that water, but the state issued that right, and we build our lives upon that right. And for the state to come in at this point in time and say that right is no longer valid, you are curtailed, especially mid-season at a very critical time for our crops, that is very frustrating.
For Local News 8, I'm Cole Sams.